Hello, and welcome to Across the Narrow Sea, episode 4. I'm Samuel. I have the great honor to be. I guess I'm filling in for Buzz, who is big and important and winning all the tournaments, so he doesn't have time to do this lowly stuff anymore.
Exactly.
But I'm guest hosting with along with Pontus, who is
Hello.
the main host.
I haven't been traveling around Europe this much since I was a teenager with a Europass.
Wow. But we're not going to talk about ourselves. We're here because we have some excellent guests with us. We're joined by Michal Lewinsky and Mateusz.
Yep,
Was
that's
that
me.
correct pronouncement?
Very good, very good,
Awesome.
very good.
Janion from the
The
lovely
great
city
country
of
of Poland.
yes,
We're
and the lovely
actually
city of
across the
Warzaw.
narrow sea.
You are actually just across the narrow sea
sea.
from us.
And our countries haven't been at war with each other for several hundred years now. So
Yeah,
This-
and let's
this
not
should go
change that.
smooth.
Let's not change that. Yeah,
Maybe
Let's
let's not start with the war.
yeah.
No, that's true. So before we get started, we have a really important question. If you were a character in the Game of Thrones lore, who would you be? With whom do you identify? Should I pass the question to, well, whoever wants to pick it up first?
Well, for me, it's very, very simple since I'm constantly being called Littlefinger, and it's mostly because I tend to be slippery and sneaky while playing. So I guess I'm proud of it and being called that. But yeah, for me, it's simple. It's definitely Petir.
that's not bad. And how do you like the card?
I don't play it. Maybe that's a
good
pointer.
answer.
But I don't play it because it's too costly for me. I mean, there's so many good characters for 5 gold that it's just that reason. It's a meh card for me.
Okay.
For
Mateusz?
me, that's a bit difficult because, well, judging by the amount that I drink, I'd say Robert, but he got dead from drinking, and I'm still alive and with you. So probably one of them drunkards that are still alive, like Tyrion or something. I mean, I love the guy.
I think with Mateusz it's tough because I think it's fair to say that if this question was asked 2 years ago, it was for sure Fat Bob.
Yeah, could be.
Fair
I mean,
enough, right?
I don't have the black hair, you know. It's
Yeah, but you had the
I had the other
shape.
attribute.
The shape. You had the shape.
other attribute,
But now
yeah.
he's lost so much weight that it's tough to attribute it. Plus we have Sobby. We
Yeah.
have Sobby, who's obviously Fat Bob.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
true.
best for fat.
It's like doing a Fat Bob in reverse. You started out as his latest stage, now you're growing into this
He's like a Benjamin Button. Fat Bob.
massive man who can kill Rhaegar Targaryen with a warhammer.
Yeah.
No, but you know
I would
what?
I would suggest maybe Thoros from Mir.
Wasn't he bald? No, I know who I like. I mean, there are like two guys that are still not in this edition, I think. Meaning, first of all, Varga Hout, and second of all, Shaka son of Dolph. Yeah, and those
Shaka
are
is good,
tho-
yeah.
those
Yeah,
are my
that's good,
guys.
that's good.
Those are my boys.
Good, yeah.
Those are my boys. But
It's
there are
kinda-
no cards for them, so yeah.
So
Out
you
of the
have
current
to win a
card pool-
championship and
design
make
it.
a card.
Yeah, could be. This sounds like a good reason to.
Yeah. You didn't have the reason before. Now you have the reason.
Now I have my reason. Yeah. Now I'm winning everything. Holland, beware.
Awesome.
Uh,
Awesome.
Mateusz, who is Michael?
Well, he's the little finger that you can see sitting here. Well, he definitely is a good friend, drinking buddy, co-host of our Polish podcast. Because you may not know that, but we in Poland also have a podcast.
Is it in English?
No, it's not. It's in Polish. So this is why we don't advertise on the international sites.
You should. More people would pick up Polish.
Yeah,
second
probably.
And,
Probably.
and to make sure, the two of you are co-hosts on this. podcast.
The two of us and Michał Świderski that's not here and Łukasz Omasta. So they're like there's a whole bunch of us. Łukasz actually started that. He's the great soul driving our whole community here. because he's the guy that made it all click in the first edition times when there were only a few of us playing, and right now there are like more and more, much and more people coming.
Much
We are,
and more.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're hosting that all together. We got guest hosts, we got co-hosts, we got everybody's a host actually. Everybody should feel like a host. And a very good player as well. He hasn't been this such a very good player for long, but right now he is. I mean, he is. I'm a bad player. I'm even worse than I used to
Wait,
be.
let me tell how bad you are. They're gonna ask me. I'm gonna tell how
Yeah.
bad you are.
Tell us about Mateusz.
Mateusz is, I think, the soul and heart of Game of Thrones in Poland. Has been for a very, very long time. He's been part of the duo that's been responsible for the creation of the Polish scene. Really, he's half of Fracas, and I mean that going back 5 years. Fantastic friend. You guys know what it's like to party with him, so I don't have to, say much. I think the world knows. We have actually officially given him the title this year only, right? It's this year that he officially has earned the title of party commander. So he's officially that now. He's a fantastic player. He doesn't give himself credit with one big flaw, which is he doesn't play good decks. At this moment, at least, he gets excited about things like Night's Watch, which I respect and like, but but the results are not. What I mean is the results are not an issue of his skill. It's the result of trying to build something where I don't think it's right now possible. Yeah, and I mean, it's really the meta. I just want to say that the meta is non-existent without him, without people like him and Skaven and Schwider and guys that travel and organize these tournaments.
Is there a Polish team captain? Is there someone who's responsible for the quality of play when you go abroad?
Oh God, quality of play, you say? Have you
Quality
seen us play?
Is there someone who can slap him around and tell him not to play Night's Watch at Stalek? That's basically what I'm asking.
Well, until Stalek, I'm hoping that Lannister will stop being the top pick for everybody, and I will be able to play my most
We're all
beloved
hoping.
house.
Yeah.
So then I will be able to play my most beloved house, because I always, I mean, when I hear that something's that popular and stuff, I just let's play Night's Watch. It's a pity Andreas isn't here with us, because when we actually first met for real in the times of first edition, me and Andreas, the both of us were playing a totally junky deck based around the agenda City of Shadows. For those of you newer players that don't remember that, it was an agenda that was practically unseen during tournaments. But I think it was first time in London during the first London tournament, during the first Blackwater Bay, that both I think me and Andreas were playing that. Of course, Andreas took it top 4, while I ended up fighting for the cut, I think, with Bambi, or maybe that was next year, and I lost, of course. But then I had more time to socialize.
Yeah.
You're dragging Andreas, who's not here, into it, but I don't know about your deck, but his deck wasn't bad. It was very rare to play City of Shadows, but before half of his deck got restricted, it was a good deck.
Oh yeah, yours was very good as well. I mean, you've won tournaments with it in Poland.
Yeah, in Poland, I used to win tournaments with that. Yeah,
it wasn't a bad deck at all. It was very creative and left a lot. And the fun thing about it is, now that this is a podcast about 2.0, the agenda is completely unexplainable. I was thinking, so there's this mechanic, and then this card allows this limit that there's not there.
I would say that those decks were much better than I think anything you can create out of Night's Watch nowadays.
Yeah,
yeah, of course they were. I think we had we took different philosophies also, because Andreas was using Preston and I was using Ariane. I think it was already after the restriction. Because I used to be using Preston, but after they got restricted, I just loved Ariane too much. Please bring me back my Ariane, please.
Magali.
So could one say
Magali count.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
that the
counted
two
for
of
the
you are
Magali.
the head and the heart of the Polish meta?
Sorry?
That the two of you, one of you are the thinker doing all the sneaky stuff, and the other one is going by his heart at all times.
Yeah, but we're all directed by Łukasz, who's not here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. Yeah,
That would
he's
be
the
the brain
he's
then.
he's the brain. He's the brain of the
I mean,
operation for sure.
no, he's the god.
He's for sure, Yeah.
He's the god.
So tell us more about the Polish meta. How far does it stretch back in time? When did you guys start out?
Oh, I think obviously it goes back to 1.0, but I think at that time the top number of people we had in the meta was, correct me if I'm wrong, Emil, but close to 30, I guess, not more than that.
Well, I think you're because I joined a little bit earlier than you did.
Yeah.
And I joined pretty late because I joined around 2011, 2012.
No, earlier than that. That's around the time I joined. I think you
Or
were
maybe
there. Yeah,
10 or 11. Or,
I think it's 10, 11. Yeah.
And before that, we had, before the game transited into LCG, there was a really thriving scene of the CCG. But I never played that, so I wouldn't know for sure. And then when FFG decided to turn into LCG, well, the meta kind of died. And then one day, I think it was 2011 or 2012. I mean, there were only small groups playing, in pubs, and there were like in every town or city there were like 5 or 10 people playing at most. But then some great guys in Poznań who were like veterans of the CCG era, they decided to organize a regional, and that's where we all got together and met for real for the first time. Michal, you weren't there, but this is where, for example, me and Skaven, the god, our meta. Where we actually met and fell in love with each other and started doing stuff. This is also the first time.
Little sex.
Just a little.
One time it doesn't.
Borderline.
Team borderline. Yeah.
So this is when we did that. This is also when we saw that perhaps the price support that FFG was providing,
it's not sufficient.
Was awesome, but we thought we could do something more, so we decided to organize our own tourney. Of course, with as much official price support as we could get. But we also did that. This was our first tourney that we organized. This was
right?
I've seen some fantastic prize support out of Poland.
The
special edition cards with all the players from tournaments and
that's fun. That was fun. Yeah, you know the story behind that is really cool because that's why we call Skaven our god or the top brain, because we had a fracas and then it was Saturday and Sunday. So in the morning before the tournament, he said, "Listen, guys, let's just get together. We'll do a photo commemorative, and then I'll send it to everyone and things like that in the morning, right?" Yeah. And then he had that sent to a print shop in that morning, and then before the top or something, it was back printed out. So actually, we got the same day. It was like a complete surprise. So that's the whole story behind it. It's really impressive because it all took organizing during the tournament, not before or after. It was really, really cool. That was one of the coolest prizes that we had.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
And this was actually the plot card Man of Pride. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I still have it. Fantastic.
It was Fracas 2014, I think. So the second Fracas.
Like
the second Fracas.
You can still play with it. It works in 2.0.
And no reserve.
Yeah. Of course, no reserve. So you have to discard all your whole hand.
No, it's like you have unlimited, right? That's how I play it.
So, but I was giving my history lecture. Let me finish.
Go on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we organized that one. Then we organized another regional, and then the idea of the fracas came up. At the same time, the other towns and cities in Poland, they decided we need some organization. So we made up a league, in which there were something between 30 and 40 active people participating in almost every tourney that we are traveling, from one part of Poland to another. And this is how we kept it up throughout the whole of first edition that I knew and Michal knew. Those are the times when Michal joined, because Michal joined at the beginning when we were organizing
2012,
tourneys.
I think it was. I think it was first fracas or something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that, or the regional.
No, I think it was first fracas. Really, it was the tournament where this was actually cool. This was the tournament that everyone received a playmat. Every participant received a playmat. I think it was first fracas.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fracas is.
Oh yeah, we should plug that.
Oh yeah, the fracas.
Fleabot on Fracas is a tournament that we organize here in Poland. It's usually mid-August, and we're very proud of it.
Mid-August this year.
Yes, I mean we have some announcements regarding it. Thanks for plugging it for us. So first, maybe a word of introduction to those that don't know. Fracas might not be the most up to now at least prestigious or populous tournament in the world, but it for sure is the drinkiest and partiest ones. Mostly owed obviously to the gentleman sitting. For me, it's over there. So he's the party leader, and believe me, he can party. I think, if you do it 24 times 4, that's 80 plus 96 hours straight, like limited sleep. So he's crazy with that. But this year, it's going to be even cooler because we predict that we're going to break records. Last year, we've had 27 fantastic visitors from abroad, which brought the total number of the tournament to 61, I believe.
Total number of players actually playing was 54, I think.
Okay, thank you for ruining that story.
Yeah.
So it was 54, but keep in mind it was first edition, and we were pretty much winding it down. This year we're leading. We have a Facebook page, which I will post in the comments to this, and we also will have a website, official website for the tournament by the end of the week. But I can now confirm that we have booked the room. And the cap for contestants is 140. And we strongly predict that we're going to hit that cap. At this point, we have, I believe, last I checked, is over 55 people registered on Facebook already. And this is mostly people from abroad. By mostly, I mean 90%. Wow. So we're gonna have a lot of people, and we're gonna have a wild party. It starts on Thursday. It ends on Monday. The parties, I mean, you can feel free to join in and leave anywhere. And obviously, this is huge. This is a huge issue for us. We need the Swedes.
Yeah, the Swedes need to come.
Last year you couldn't come for a fair reason. You had that silly little tournament for 4 people in Denmark. I understand that.
Was a silly tournament.
I understand that. It's somewhat, okay. But this year, please man up and please arrive and please. I know Samuel can drink. I've checked that, and I've tested that.
Actually, I want to get to that. I want to get to the Samuel.
We'll get there. Don't worry. This is the headline of the whole thing.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask this question later, but we're so close to it now.
Oh boy.
Sam,
you want to tell the drinking story? And the partying.
Yeah.
But the day after you drink and party, you still play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, of course.
And I saw Samuel try to drink with you guys.
Oh, he did.
He did not play the day after.
Well, this is how we beat some of the opponents and the other ones in the fair fight.
No, listen. Let's be fair here. I'm not the best combination of drinking and playing. Not at all. Yemio, I wouldn't venture to say that he's a better player while drunk or sober. Really, I've seen him play in the worst of states and kill his opponents, like smother them. Just basically. Take them on.
Have you seen him play sober? Do you have anything? Yeah. Do you have anything?
That's a very good question. Yemio, have I seen you play sober?
Yes, of course. We play like Thursdays sometimes.
Oh yeah, we play where he is right now, and that but tournament wise, I don't think I did. Tournaments?
Yeah, I think you may have.
Like first game, right?
Well, first game rarely.
I'll give you a good example, though, of how different the meta is. We were in Madrid a month back, and Gjiku, a friend of ours, and we had a good Swiss. We had a good round of Swiss. So we both final round 7. We met at table 1. I was number 1. He was number 1 seed. I was number 2 seed. So we did a really good. Now we ended the party at 4:30 the night before. So we had like 3 hours of sleep. We pretty much went unconscious. So I was drinking Nestea all tournament long. So I just bought myself 10 Nestees, and every round I would drink a Nestea and try to survive. Gjiku?
Yeah, I was so fed up with Nesties. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Gjiku, but he drank the same amount of fluid, with the difference that he only drank beer. So every round, I'm not kidding you, every round he drank a beer. He drank 8 beers, and he went second in that. He was completely zoned in, focused, and like that. So it just has a different effect on people, I guess.
It does. It really does.
Apparently.
It was his magic potion.
Yeah, it was called his magic. But coming back to Sam, I mean, Sam is obviously has a Polish medal waiting for him in Poland. He has to just collect it because, I mean, out of the whole Swedish meta, I believe that we've grown closest to Sam because of that.
Yep.
That was a special evening.
That was a special evening for sure.
But the state you left him, he was supposed to be in our team tournament this year in Stalek. There was no way. He couldn't stand up, let alone play.
This is how Team Poland takes third place, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to say, did you see our team? And the first game we had was against the Spaniards, and what happened? No contest, 2-0. So yeah, it was really, really fun. I mean, to those who don't know, I mean, this is all from Stalek, and Stalek is just a place. I think Yemio has the best description for it, which is it's Neverland, and you never want to go back from Neverland. You always stay in Neverland.
That's true.
But it's a Neverland where we're all Peter Pans. There is no like Lost Boys, only Peter Pans.
That's true.
That's very
I think the first year we as Team Sweden went to Stalek, probably in 2013, right, Pontus?
That sounds right.
Yeah, and we arrived at different times, the Warzaw meta and the Stockholm meta. We arrived first, I think, and because we were the smarter guy who took the taxi up, and the Stockholm guys...
For the people who don't know Sweden, this is the equivalent of West Coast, East Coast.
Ah, okay. Is it mentality-wise as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
They
So,
killed Tupac.
yeah, so we were a bit smarter, obviously, so we took the taxi up, but the Stockholm guys pulled their luggage
the stairs?
Stairs, yeah.
Nice.
They were about to lose one of the guys. He almost died on the way up.
Which one?
To Jocke.
Oh, okay.
Those are the stairs. Those are the stairs.
Those
You
are
know
the stairs.
Upstairs.
First time we went was Yemio was I think that was we traveled separately. I was with Marcin and Sobi.
Yep.
If you've met Sobi, you know he's not the fittest of sweetest guy in the world, but not the fittest. So there's this little place with the ruins in the middle. Mm-hmm. We emptied a bottle over there, like within half an hour. We said we can't do this, man. We didn't know how long we have to go, so we said we have to. I mean, this might be our last journey, and we had when we come to Stalek,
If we're gonna die, let's die drunk.
Yeah. Plus, you need strength, and we always have like 3 or 4 bottles. I mean, we provide. I sometimes feel we are the provider of alcohol for Stalek when we come there. Sam knows. So we had a break there. We emptied a bottle on the way. Yeah, it's a true story actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, those stories are true, but on the other hand, so that we don't sound like complete drunkards, last year was it, or 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I think. It was the first time that Gjiku came to Stalek. So he actually is the fit guy, and we actually took the car to the castle, and he took the stairs because we told him you have to take the stairs when you're here for the first time. I mean, you can't take the car. Just
we kicked him out of the car.
Just grab your bag and run, and beware of the bear.
We told him there's a bear on the way too.
Yeah, but he actually made it before us, and
he actually was there before us. Yeah,
and it's not like Levi is such a crappy driver, and I mean he's not the best, but he actually drove really good then. But Gjiku made it there before us and said, "I'm hungry."
Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah. He's the fit one. Like in every boy band, we have roles, and he's the fit one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the fit one was Lewinsky for sure. I mean, Swiderski.
Yeah, he also is fit. He also is fit, yeah.
Swiderski is the mysterious one.
Yeah.
He's the one with the secret.
Getting back to your meta at large, I'm hearing this about 30 people and then maybe 50 people at Fracas last year. And now you have a podcast in Polish. So I'm assuming that the meta is slightly larger now.
Yeah.
How big is it?
Well,
maybe that's the example is that we did a store championship.
Yeah.
Well, no, was it? It was a store. No, it wasn't even a store championship.
no, it actually was a store
Was.
championship, but this was one organized
By our podcast.
actually by us. I mean, it was of course it was organized by the store, but we were strongly endorsing it.
We had 56 contestants on the store championship itself.
Yes,
In
so
Warsaw.
more than Fracas last year. We actually did this in this place where
In that
we're
place, yeah.
where I'm sitting right now, and we actually ran out of place because not everybody pre-registered, and the result was that me and Skaven, we were not playing because we just didn't have enough space. So that was awesome. So many people came. There are people who came back to the game from the times of the CCG.
Yeah. A lot of yeah. But judging from that, I mean, previously, correct me if I'm wrong, Yemio, but before that, when we did our local tournaments in Warsaw, it was 9 people, 12 people, something like that, right? So that's the basic difference that we have right now.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that there must be a couple of hundred people playing in Poland right now.
Right.
Yeah,
And
something like
as
that.
you say, we hear this over and over again. When the CCG switched it into 1.0, they lost a lot of players.
Yeah.
So it's very impressive that they managed to get into 2.0 and just exploding the metas.
But there's another issue here, I think, and we see it in Poland, which is Legend of the Five Rings.
Yes.
We have a lot of people who are, that's finishing up. So we have a real huge amount of people crossing over from that.
Yeah, and just and some of them are saying openly that they're hibernating for the relaunch
for the LCG,
of the LCG.
Some of them are going to realize that there's only one game that matters.
Of course.
Of course, they should sooner or later, but they're sooner than later. But there also is. I mean, I don't know if it's the case in other countries, but here I hear from people. I mean, I don't play Conquest that much. I mean, I have the cards.
Tell them. Yemio was going to Krakow just for vacation. That he looked at the internet and he said, "Oh, there's a Conquest regional nationals. There's a Conquest nationals, and he's played it 3 times in his life. So, Conquest nationals, fine. Can someone give? He wrote to Don, right? Don Van Beek.
I actually. Don helped out. Josh Chambers helped out.
So basically, he writes on Facebook.
Fasulo and Raul. They all helped out.
Can someone send me a deck? Because I'm going to play in the Conquest Nationals, having played it 3 times. I need something easy. So they send it to him. He goes and actually he comes 4th.
In a field of 64.
In the field of 64, he comes 4th. I mean, how can you seriously treat a game where someone comes in, like having played it 3 times, and comes 4th? It was amazing.
You can imagine someone doing that in Game of Thrones, having played 3 or 4 times and going to the tournament.
There's no chance, right? There's no chance. You can't do it.
Especially me. Come on, you know me. I went that night before the tournament. I went to sleep around 7. I woke up at 8:30.
As you do.
No, it's Krakow. It's just it's just a different state of mind.
For me, Star Wars is even worse at that. I don't know what it is. I've almost never played it, and every time I play it, I feel like I'm just winning. Amir won the Starlek the first year we went, and then I played him my first round ever, and I won. And I don't feel like I know the game. I don't feel like I'm good at it. It just doesn't seem to matter.
Well, they certainly don't seem to matter, but they. I mean, I like them not as much as Thrones, because Thrones is the game and they are like appetizers. But for sure, I think that you can enjoy them. But I see many people that used to play Conquest or playing Conquest saying that, I mean, it's got its problems. Many people are leaving. There's not that much going around tourney-wise and stuff. So I don't see where that's coming.
I
but,
think it's
but,
I think it's a weak game, and I think that's the gist of it. I think Conquest is just a weak game to me. I mean, it's just you can't even compare it. The only game that I can compare to Thrones at this point, card game, is Netrunner, I guess. Netrunner is like, to me, a game that requires, a comparable level of skill, I would say. The other games, they're for fun to me, really. They're just for fun. And I'm gonna get so dissed on this, Jesus.
and you're gonna be, and you better watch out for yourself, because you might be,
I know who's gonna come after me. Yeah.
Dark Alleys, Conquest, and Star Wars fans.
Someone dressed as Darth Vader is gonna come up behind me. And look, okay, I'm gonna make up for this. Hold on, I'm gonna make up for this.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, you're not. You got Vader, but you also got Kylo Ren. Come on.
Oh,
dude.
I do. I love him.
Kylo Ren.
Of course.
All right, let's not make this
That's
off topic.
I got a more powerful guy over here.
That's very strong.
I actually got an old T-shirt that says "Punk Rock Forever."
Compare T-shirts.
No geek stuff today.
Does it say
Oh, no.
Captain America on your cap,
It does.
Samuel?
I wanted to point that out. So Captain America on the hat wins.
Of course it does.
Sam takes it down with a hat.
Team
I
Cap.
actually failed miserably because I have nothing Deadpoolish on me today.
You,
That
sh-
sucks.
you shouldn't have traded your T-shirt last Dalek.
No,
You know whose T-shirt I have at home, by the way.
No,
I have the most treasured, I think, reward of any of us, which is an authentic, true T-shirt from Andreas Rybak.
wow.
yeah, he actually traded this to me, and then I traded
yeah,
this to
yeah,
Levy because
yeah.
I was,
You were
I
drunk.
wasn't, I never knew what I was doing, but I saw the Deadpool, and Deadpool, I need
Oh
that
yeah, because
one.
I had Deadpool too.
And
I'm-
know that T-shirt,
Which one? The one that I have.
the one you have.
Oh yeah, I sleep with it.
This is not just one of his T-shirts.
It's what do you mean?
It's the T-shirt.
He has had it on every tournament he's been in
Are you kidding
until
me?
he gave it away. This is his game T-shirt.
Oh my
What?
God, Levy, you need to give it back.
I'm wearing it
You have
now.
to give it back
I
to
have
me.
to wear
No,
it.
you have to give it
I
back
might
to
start
me.
winning. I might
You have to
start
give it back to
winning.
me.
That T-shirt
I didn't know
has
that.
been in the Melee finals at Stalek not once, but twice.
Are you kidding me?
I never knew
The
that.
gray one. The gray one.
The grey one that says "Player Forever" or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah, that's his game
Oh,
T-shirt.
that's going on eBay
The thing
today.
is,
All
the
right,
thing is he hasn't won anything after that.
I'm giving it back then.
I need to
Just
make a
makes sense to
statement.
do it.
I need
Oh,
to
you
make
can keep it for a while. Let the other Swedes win for a little while.
No, but
You keep it.
now I understand
At some
the
point.
uprise of Andreas in the meta. Now I understand it. I mean, from Buzz, I understand why he keeps winning, because I took Rybak's hair. I
Yes.
took Rybak's hair like
Yes,
Samson.
it did.
That's
Ah,
for the
actually-
people who don't know.
actu-
This is the guy who became the European Championship in Melee last year, wearing this T-shirt. That's Andreas Rybak. He has big guns. Look him up. Okay.
Actually, I took it, and he took my T-shirt, which is why he sucks now.
Oh, that's the reason. So
Did you trade away? Because I traded a T-shirt with you, Jamil.
Sam, you can't remember
Sam,
this. sorry.
Sam, I think your
Oh, this is from
T-shirt-
one of the moments that I remember, actually.
Sam, I think your T-shirt might have been added to the braid of Khal Frogo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's
Frogo.
why I gave it away.
Has it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and Khal Frogo
honored.
will surface again.
Oh yeah, we can promise. Obviously, that's clear, right? To everyone who plans to go to Fracas, you will get to meet Khal Frogo for sure.
Yes.
Yes, this is good.
You might
Getting
even, if
back
you're
on
lucky, you might
topic-
even become his cock rider. If you're very lucky.
That's what
Getting
she
back
said.
on topic. You were talking about this influx of players from Legends of the Five Rings.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you mix two different cultures like that, you get cultural clashes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I heard
Well-
about the Melee game.
Oh,
A little
See, I mean-
bird whispered to me, and then there was a difference in culture. Could you tell me about it more?
Yemio was there, so
Yeah, I was there. So we actually had our first regional in Poland. It was, when was it? It was like 2 weeks ago.
2
Almost
weeks
2 weeks.
ago. Yeah.
It was in Szczecin in the north. It was a very nice. I mean, it was well organized. Everything was fun, and it was partly organized by the old gods and partly by the new. So there were actually two situations that I never, ever, ever encountered in the history of the tourneys that I've been to. It may not be that long of a history, but certainly intensive. So there was one situation in Joust, even before the melee. So in the final round of Joust, where the guys could not agree on whether one of them had 12 or 13 power, and I mean, the guy in question, he obviously had 13 power, but his 13th power was lost somewhere. And when the other guy asked him before, he said 12, but not on purpose. I mean, it was just being tired and stuff. Yeah, so they started arguing. I was as a like side judge. I was called to judge on that because the main judge was somewhere else. I was called for that, and I was actually at a point where, hell, I don't know what to do because obviously, I mean, I asked the other guy, "Are you accusing this man here of cheating and placing this one power just like that?" And he said, "No, actually, no. When I think I knew that he knew that the guy had 13 power, he just miscounted." And this is a situation where you just poof and say, "All right." My first impression was, "All right, the you guys make it up yourselves." Otherwise, I was inclining to to remove the power because it was actually not on the house card, and the guy admitted to representing that he had 12 power, not 13. But then I started to come up with a solution that maybe they should remove like 3 or 5 power from each house and just finish the game like that, so be it clean. But in the end, they decided that they just roll off who wins. So this was one situation that I never ever encountered in the days of first edition. And to be sincere, I didn't like it. I mean, I don't know.
The approach, right? It's about the approach.
Yeah,
that people are accusing each other of even
No,
indirectly of cheating.
No, when I actually asked the guy whether he's accusing the other guy of cheating, he was he never said that he was accusing him of cheating. See, that's
Yeah, but I mean, it's implied, right?
it was like implied, so it was like so ambiguous, and so I mean, I came back to my game after that, and I never felt right, and I lost against a Targaryen with my Night's Watch deck, and before that I was like 5-4, 4-5, and blah blah blah.
And
No.
you don't lose with Night's Watch against a Targaryen deck because your mind is not there. You lose because you can't win against Targaryen with a Night's Watch deck.
It cost me my cut. I finished 18 in a field of 44. And the other situation was the melee, the last round of melee. And this is, I mean, well, the guys that there were like two guys from the Legend of the Five Rings meta. One of them used to play, I think, a little bit of first edition, but not in tournaments. And they were from the same meta, and they colluded openly. That's what it's called. I mean, it may sound bad, and it is bad, but they actually never knew. I mean, my recommendation for the TO.
Tell the story. I mean, tell them how.
Well, it was like one of them could have won the last game of of the rounds, so the third round of melee, but he had already had 2 wins, so he said, "All right, I'm not going to win that, so that you can win that, and you'll come to the final, and then we'll be together in the final." And after that, they even admitted that they said, "Yeah, so we'll be together in the final, so I'll help you win." And they admitted to that because they saw nothing wrong with it. Because I mean, I talked to them a lot.
It's a different culture.
That's what. Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. Yeah.
And we actually talked about that. I mean, it's not like, I mean, their fault was that they never read the rules, that they never got into the whole collusions, the collusion rulings, that they never got into how melee is meant to be played. That was their fault, but they were obviously not like, you sometimes meet mean pricks in tourneys, but that was not the case, I think.
Yeah, but Pontus has a point here. It's not about reading the rules. It's about an approach. Like you and me, or anyone here at this book, or frankly speaking, anyone that we play with regularly, would not have the reaction in a situation like that to say, "I'm going to help you win now, so that you help me win later." No one would even start thinking like that. That's. I think that's the point we're making.
Absolutely. And even within Thrones, we saw this thing at Worlds last year, right? Where there was a clear difference between how we play Melee in Europe and how they do it in the US.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I
It wasn't this bad, but it was still a clear difference in how we view the games.
Yeah,
I remember a Melee game from Stalek a few years back when you and me, Yemiol, and Michal Swiderski, and my metamate Christopher, we played. I don't know if you remember that, but that table ended up
I think I do.
me and Christopher being furiously mad at each other, and you and Michal just screaming at each other, because it was like the total opposite of that. We were just both all of us just wanted to beat our countermates.
Yes.
And it was the tournament. I mean, we could have helped each other, but no way.
I'll tell you what. I was an adamant enemy of a Melee in general as a format for a long time. Yemio knows this. And then I saw the best game that I ever saw in Game of Thrones generally ever played up to date is a Melee game, and it was the semi-final or the top 16 match at Stalek, I think two years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago. And it was a table with Michal Świderski. Apparently he's good at this. It was with your guy whose name is, he's the fantastic deck builder, Bjorn.
Bjorn. Mm-hmm.
Bjorn and LaPlante and Vince.
Vince,
yes.
So you have Poland, Sweden, and 2 French guys.
And for the people who don't know LaPlante and Vince, watch Across the Narrow Sea, the French edition.
And now the way this match was played out was the way Melee should be played. The beauty of Melee was exposed in this, because every time someone would get an edge, all 3 other players would go against that guy. And then you had these 2 French guys who were sitting next to each other. And you know how French argue in English, it's just the most, I think the world enjoys this the most. But the way these guys played this game was, I think it was a very long match. And I stood there in awe, really. I stood there in awe at how advanced the thinking is and how they play it ethically. Because, you know, you always suspect a situation would happen in a case like this where you have 2 guys from the same country and then 2 guys not from the same country. But this game was absolutely epic. Obviously, it helped that Michal won this match, but then I mean, that was the best game I've ever seen, really, ever in my life.
I would add to that the final this year in Stalek, where we had 3 Swedes and Vama
James,
at the final table, and there was no one was being kind to anyone at that table. They were going through for hours, just breaking down, making sure that no one.
I really think Melee brought out the best in first edition, but only if it was played the right way. Because the thing with Melee, if I just may say one more thing, is that you need 4 excellent players at a table to make it the best game ever. If there's one weaker player who will make a mistake, an honest mistake, that will just ruin the game, because he will let someone win too quick, or someone, you know, and so it really needs 4 excellent players, and it helps if there's Swedes at the table. Apparently you guys know what you're doing at this game.
Of course it does. Let me just say, because you're all talking about finals, etc. I mean, as opposed to Joust, I actually been to a couple Melee finals. Even in Prakas and Dockside Battle last year, I even won that one. But the game that I think I remember the most is the first round of Melee during the first Blackwater Bay tournament, so in London, where Michal Świderski, and another guy from Poland, Wojtek.
They were at the same table, yeah.
We were, the 3 of us were paired with. Do you say paired in that case? I don't know.
It's okay.
We were paired with a guy from Sweden. Andreas is his name, but it's not the one that's not here. So it's I think it was, or maybe I can't remember the name. Regardless, we started off. Round 1. The 3 of us will all agree on summoning season. Of course, one of us, Poles, failed to reveal summoning season, and the other ones got into a fight. Nobody exchanged. We were so mad at each other that your homie from Sweden just had to, finish the work in the
He
second
just
slot.
finished you up, didn't
I
he?
mean, we were so busy fighting against each
But
other.
then, to be fair, Yevio, to be fair, that's a Polish thing as well. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
2 Poles at a table, it's 100% that they will get into
Yeah.
a fight for
Yeah.
sure, and it's a 100% certainty.
Yeah.
But you know what, Pontus, coming back to your question about the influx of people, that's a fantastic example that Yevio gives of what's happening. I have another one, which is a little bit in a different area, but we're giving away a lot of prizes here in Poland. We're giving the FFG prizes, but we're also giving our custom-made prizes. And I remember that Skaven was giving away some prize, and then someone like inadvertently mentioned that he wonders what the price of this will be on eBay or on something else. So you see, this comes mostly from Netrunner, where apparently, and I didn't know this, the promo cards that are given away at tournaments, they reach really high, I mean, relatively high prices for a card, but like, I mean, 50, 80, $100. And these guys come here, and they're really bloodthirsty for these prizes. Really, they are like, I mean, I'm like playmats. I have, I get one, I don't get one, I don't cards, things like that. But over there, it's like, so can we exchange? Can you give me an English one? Can you give me a Polish one? Things like that. And also, you have to understand it and not be pissed by it. Skaven, remember that Skaven got really pissed at him, and he said, "Okay, if you want to sell it, I'm not giving it to you. Fuck it, I don't care."
I may not remember that very well.
I remember that very vividly. Yeah, so there's a bunch of differences with new people. We love the majority of them. We really do. I think in Poland, right? We can say that the majority are pretty. But there are a few rotten apples. I mean, always.
I wouldn't call the guys that colluded in Melee rotten apples because they actually admitted to everything, and they were clearly blind about how you're supposed to be playing that. And I mean, my justification for them is that doing stuff like that is at the ground level. It might sound kind of Game of Thrones-ish.
No, come on. Come on. Let's not use that argument.
No, but well, yeah, I can also see
I hate that argument.
a cultural argument for this selling stuff. Because if all the prices were made by FFG, I'd be fine with it. The thing that makes it weird for us is that we already have started this culture of making our own prices, right? You made fantastic prices. We have at Varbar Morgulis, there's always, excellent prices made for that reason.
Absolutely the best I have. I mean, I love both.
Yeah.
The ones from Blairico and these ones. Those are the singular pieces of swag that I actually bought.
But the last tournament we had this playmat, and there are some that you can buy, and they say the iron bank
Price
is always
It's always so full.
But for the other ones that you only could win, you can't.
You pay the iron price. You don't.
Because then it wasn't worth the effort of doing them.
Yeah, but look at Facebook, Pontus. Look at Facebook or look at eBay these days, and look at the amount of the swag that is actually being put on sale. By actually the amount of swag that is being bought. Someone was, I think, posted yesterday a playmat with a Stark playmat from a regional in 2011 or something, being very proud. He said, "Look what I've bought. I mean, look what I have now." That's completely like.
And if it's FFG prices, I'm fine with it. But if we start selling the stuff that our organizers are making, they'll stop making it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But also, you can't underestimate the factor of this gods of swag, right? That Craven keeps talking about. I mean, you will not win a game on a bot mat. That's just the way it goes.
That's true. You have to pay
true.
iron price.
Pay the iron price.
But basically, as being apparently involved a little bit in Stalek price support this year, I'll have the big. A piece of good advice for people who have excess swag and that want to sell it. Don't sell it. Just give it away for future tourneys. For example, Stalek, so we can make
let's do that.
a raffle, whatever. So we can have all those cool table prizes. If you have excess swag, don't sell it, or you'll anger the gods of swag. Copyright
You'll
wrong.
never win a game again. Never.
Yep, never, ever, ever.
This is a fantastic
True.
conversation. Before we leave, I want to talk to you a bit about 2.0 and the cards and
Yes, of course.
where you are with it. So, Jamila, you're saying you're playing Nightwatch.
Yeah, basically, this is the most that I've played so far, I think, in 2.0. I mean, I haven't had that much time to play like really casually to get to know with the cards, because Thursdays I come here, but there's too many people to meet and too much to talk about, and just playing cards, they do matter in terms of games, but it's for me it's the people that matter. But yeah, mostly Night's Watch. I think we played. We had a Valentine's Day tourney that I played. This is the only tourney that I played a non-Night's Watch deck, and me and the guys. We had our Valentine's Day decks. Everybody had Tyrell and Stark, because
yeah.
it was the time when Lady Sansa's Rose came up, and I decided I'd be playing my kind of Valentine, and I was playing Tyrell Lannister with Brothel Madame instead of Lady Sansa's Rose. Never did good with that. Never did good with that.
There's another challenge linked to that now. It's Children's Day on the 1st of June in Poland, and we have a tournament on the 1st of June. Oh, it's on the 30th or something like close, the same day or the day after.
Yeah.
So now the task is to build Stark and
Martell, I think.
Baratheon, so that you
yeah.
can have Bran, Rickard, Shireen, and a lot of burn. So seen in flames and things like that. That's the goal now.
Eventually, you could go for Martell as well, and
Oh yeah, you could actually. Yeah, there's dollars there as well.
and do the Edric Dane, for example.
So that's the next project.
And when not playing these special tournaments, Michal, what are you playing?
Oh, I'm the opposite of Yemio. So I enjoy winning. So I usually play
So you
decks.
play Lannister.
You know what? I played Lannister for a while. I played different variation. The last one being the one Buzz uses. So thank you, Andreas. Did a couple of modifications, but that was first.
Bump, right?
Yeah, Banff exactly. Today we played where Yemio is. We played. I really have now. I'm torn because I feel that the wolf deck, Stark Wolf deck. I think that's close to being viable. I mean, I have a positive ratio there, and I think so. But my best result in Madrid is with the Barafilti deck, and I still strongly believe that even considering Andreas's huge success, I still think Barafilti is the deck to beat right now.
Let me just say that when BAM first came out, and everybody decided all the ratings it got said it's such a utterly crappy card.
Oh yeah,
and I thought,
sure.
oh my god, it's so much junk. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it because nobody's gonna play it. Yay!
I mean, no. Look at the comments on Andreas when he posted his deck first, the one that he won the Swedish Store Championship with. Look at the comments on that. The first ones. It's like, are you serious? I mean, why would you, there's no card draw in this? You can't do anything with this. It's just a silly deck. Why? How weak must the Swedish meta be if you're practically that was pointing out, and then he proved
But
it.
then
He went and he took down.
Okay, but that's
France
all.
with
Now
it.
I know it's all because I have Rebek's shirt. It's all because of that.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
the
it is.
only reason.
had I known that, I would never have traded that, Andreas. Sorry.
I know that. I know. I'm Littlefinger though. I have these things.
Sneaky.
I can make these things work.
And the new cards coming out now, do you think they changed the meta anyway? Calm
You-
over Westeros?
Well, Vengeance for Elia is a pretty good card, I hear.
So they say.
So that's one that changes. I think makes Martell much stronger. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I do believe so. I mean, the Red Vengeance. I never was a Martel player in first edition, but I think that as far as like power level in the first edition was a bit higher than in the second edition. So it's like first edition card directly transferred into second edition, so that means something. I do think it's strong. I mean, I do think it's fun to play and it's strong and it's gonna see play. But what I'm more excited about, however, is the impact of the new chapter pack on melee, and actually making it. You know what I'm talking about, right? You're
Yep.
pros. You're pros. So I'm talking trial by combat Cersei and
That's strong, yeah.
the intrigue title.
Well,
I want to do that. I really want to do that.
like Miri is played a lot now. I mean, people tend to go into the back to the Targ Lion deck with Jamie, Drogo, and Miri included in kill. And obviously, I mean, we cannot forget the most universal card in first edition being reprinted. I think it's the most universal card, which is Nightmares. I think that's gonna change a lot of things. I think. I mean, I'm even considering whether, and this is probably a question for Buzz if he would be here, which is whether it can actually replace Treachery, because I believe it has a very similar effect. But he might not be agreeing with me.
Something tells me he disagrees with you.
Something tells me he disagrees with me.
I don't think it's going to replace it, but I think for people who are not veterans, it's hard to imagine how impactful Nightmares is as a card.
Yeah. Even though it's got a little bit nerfed compared to the previous version, so it costs money right now and it doesn't blank traits.
Yeah.
Which, in the case of Night's Watch, might mean something. I mean, you can still stand them with a Castle Black.
Yeah.
One card that I really like about the last chapter that should have been costed a little bit better, but otherwise it gives. I really like its potential. Is the Eerie? I mean, everybody hates it, but I really love the fact that.
For opponents, right?
Even when we don't have Valor, it can be used like offensively. Like, no, your Chud won't die, your huge guy will die, or your triple duped something won't die, your unduped something else.
But cost for a.
I get that. It's overcosted.
Yeah.
It's totally overcosted, but I really like
absurd.
it.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm just talking about the effect and not the how effective it is.
If it was cheaper,
Yeah,
I
like
would use it in a
two.
Targaryen Lannister deck, and then just use it on their Shud so they can't be claimed for. So
okay. My question is this:
beautiful.
what if it was 3? Would you play it if it was 3?
Yep.
I don't think 3 is even good enough. 2.
I think
2 is the right price for it, I think.
when Valor comes out, maybe
I wonder
3 is
what-
the right price.
I wonder what Buzz would think it should be costed.
I wonder what he'd say.
Yeah, I wonder what he'd
I wonder
say.
as well.
I think you think.
If only he could give us a sign from
If
wherever.
only he could tell us if it's 2 or 3.
I think he thinks it sucks.
Okay. Yeah, Buzz doesn't like the card, I think.
He
Okay,
thinks it
how
sucks.
about Famine? Do you think there's a way to break Famine?
Let me just.
Well, let's wait for some real choke, right? I mean, because this is
Famine is it's
the
a
plot.
2/0/2 plot. Increase the cost of each opponent to marshal each of her characters by 1.
I think it's. I mean, let's wait for. I mean, right now it's not. It may not seem like
There's
the
there's
best
just one
plot in the world.
just one problem with it, I think, which is reserve.
Yes.
The reserve is a huge problem, I think. It's
reserve-
reserve 4, yeah.
It's a 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Honestly, I mean, with the 2 claim plot that came out with Wolves, I don't remember
The
what
4 to the long winter.
the 4/2/2, yeah, which is a crazy good plot. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just no
Yeah.
downside. It's a 4/2/2. I mean, why would you? I don't think there's choke right now.
The downside is limit 1 per deck, per plot deck.
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
downside. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't like this famine. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Not for now, but there is obviously a choke archetype coming, and there is obviously an archetype that's going to be able to utilize that. There is going to be an archetype. Probably, I mean, let's go back to the first edition where you had Greyjoy that could Valor offensively. If Valor is, I mean, we know it's coming. If it's doing the same thing that it used to do in the first edition, then imagine like wiping the board, saving your champs and chuds, and then going for famine. So your opponent stays with nothing. He cannot play anything, and you have to claim.
Yeah, but the
follow
choke.
that up.
Don't you think the choke is coming with Night's Watch though? I think the choke is pointing towar's Night's Watch, not towards
maybe.
I
Greyjoy.
mean, they already have the meager contribution.
And plus,
Yeah.
I think there's one more, right? Or is that announced?
I don't know. I think since a lot of the choke we're seeing right now has poor economy for yourself, I think Lannister choke is going to be the first thing to go.
Or Lannister combined with something. I mean, we're gonna see that because we still. I mean, who am I to tell? But we still don't have the card pool for a pretty good choke archetype to be built.
Yeah, for sure.
It's most certainly is coming because this game would not be the same without one. I mean,
They're
you need to
building
have.
towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've already plugged the flea bottom fracas.
We just need one more thing regarding that. We need an official confirmation that you will be there. Not putting you on the spot, by the way. Just
Yeah.
August?
August
13th and 14th. Everybody's invited from Thursday.
I opened those calendars.
Yeah.
Booked the weekend. I know Sam. I know you're coming. I mean, there's no way you're not coming.
There's no way you're not.
It's in the calendar. It is.
We've instilled that.
We're sending Samuel then.
No. That's absolutely not acceptable.
I have my kid that weekend.
Bring him.
Yeah, bring him. I mean,
He's
there are many.
4. He's not ready to see grown men cry.
But there are many.
Of course he is. The sooner he gets used to it, the better.
Many metamates here have kids, and they must be doing something, right? So we can just, put them in the same place. I wonder what Andreas would say about Fracas if he would come.
Yeah,
Were he here with us?
We could use a good player like Andreas, Buzz, Aldrin at the flea bottom Fracas.
I like that you're not afraid. Many metas now, we hear them coming into us, they're saying, don't send Andreas. We want one from our country.
No, he's not going to show up for the tournament.
If he did, he would take your
No, you don't get it.
And bring it back to Barbara Morgulis, and then you have to come here and bring back your honor.
Let's make a deal. You send the amount of people you send to us, we'll send to you. That sounds like that's like a collusion, basically.
That's
cool.
fair. That's very fair.
That's fair. That's
well,
fair.
I actually came to Varberg even when there wasn't a tournament. I went.
You didn't even play Thrones.
We didn't even play Thrones, and I came to Varberg.
Yeah.
That's how dedicated I am.
You are.
Sam can confirm.
Michal is definitely going to Varberg this year, and I am as well. Because I already missed on 2, and I don't like to miss on them tourneys. So you guys beware. So we need a strong representation from Team Sweden.
We will do our very best.
Pontus, if you can't come, you need to find 3 replacements.
Yep.
And that's except for
I will
Buzz,
send 3,
and
I will
one more for
Pontus sent me into their foreheads, so you know which is which.
and one more for your kid. Don't forget that. So 4.
That's
all in all.
We're slowly winding this down.
This has been
Who
awesome.
would you like to see next time? Which
We get
meta
to choose?
you think is up?
Oh, that's easy. Can I choose really anyone I want?
You can choose any meta you want.
DC. For sure. DC meta. For sure. No contest. And I have a special request. Buzz has to be there at that point. Please.
Okay.
So it's DC and Buzz. That's my dream. If you can make it come true.
I like this idea. We were planning to go through Europe before we take on the Americans.
Aren't? Okay. What?
But I like
Hungarians.
Please.
So at least this will be our first American meta.
And then Yemio was right. If you go through Europe, it has to be Hungary.
Hungary.
Or Middlesbrough.
Or Borough.
Or
Oh, if you can, yeah. Okay, so Yemio's is Hungary. My dream is if you can get the Borough guys, so Josh, Chris, Russ, anyone from there, and then try to understand them.
Yeah.
So you think not even Great Britain, not even England. You're saying the Borough guys.
Borough, no,
Yeah,
it's a separate meta. You have to. It's a
it's like
completely separate matter.
it's a different kingdom. It's a different state of mind, and we love them all.
Oh yeah, but Barrow is like second Poland.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. So Hungary or Borough it will be for sure.
Unless, of course, if you can't
then
get
the
DC,
Gs.
because I DC is the thing.
Okay, and if it's Baron, what would you like to ask them? And what would you like to ask Hungary?
Hungary, we would like to ask.
What the hell is wrong with Palinka?
Yeah. Palinka
The
should be.
national drink. What the hell is wrong with that? That we can't drink it.
Okay, so that's one. And Barrow, you know, anything you ask them is just gonna be funny because like the way they speak, anything you ask them is just gonna be humorous. I mean, it's just you have guaranteed humor with them.
That's good. I think we're gonna see if we can set that up. For guaranteed humor is what we're all about. And this has been Across the Narrow Sea. I want to take our two guests, Michal and Jamilio, and I want to take my co-host Samuel Linde. And somewhere in behind the curtains, I want to thank Andreas Buzz Aldrin for keeping us on our toes. This has been lovely, guys.
Guys, it's been awesome. Thank you. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you very much. And
Thanks,
let
guys.
me just use my last word to say Dockside Brothel is next week. So you guys go there. Whoever that hasn't decided on going yet, go there. Netherlands.
Netherlands next week.
See you at Fracas, guys.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye bye.